Guys, life is literally so crazy, and if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be where I am now because I made the choice to go to a tiny local dance troupe's dance audition, I would not have believed you. So here's the story.
Roxy, get out here. Let's hear it again.
So I've had a lot of dancers either like in person or online, but especially at the pole artistry intensive that I just hosted, have curiosity and have questions about like, how do you get started with a performing career? Like if you really love dancing, you love performing and you want to make money doing it, like how do you even get started? How do you overcome the imposter syndrome? How do you find the gigs? How do you audition or just like start booking out stuff? And so I wanted to share with you guys like what I've been doing in the last couple years where have really started to book gigs and now can like confidently say that I get paid to perform and I'm a full-time dancer. And to be honest, like that was never my expectation. If you guys know my story, you know that my life path was originally to try and be a modern dancer. I grew up doing ballet. And then when I got into a dance program after high school, trying to get my professional career started, I got super badly injured, had to completely stop dancing, and became a yoga teacher instead. Like I never expected that I would be now back in a place where I'm probably more legit of a pro dancer and actually have like pathways to make money and gig and travel for dance opportunities more than I ever think I would have had I stayed in the modern dance world. Like it's crazy, and I never had the expectations to be here. I really thought I was just gonna be like a yoga teacher and do maybe some dance like on the side for fun. I never had like expectations to be a professional dancer ever again. So the last 2 years have really been crazy, and I really just want to share like what has happened and give y'all some tips if you want to perform more and just how to put yourselves out there and what to focus on, and yeah, just share my stories. When I moved to Asheville back in 2018, like I was not pole dancing yet. I was barely doing yoga. Like I was doing yoga just to try and take care of my back and keep preventing my injury and like keep healing, and just wanted to get my yoga teacher training like certification and just go down that route. And I did, and then I also started doing pole dancing in Asheville too, just for fun, just because I always had wanted to try it out, and was finally feeling healed enough in my back to get into class. And of course, got hooked right away and was super addicted and loved it. And with the support of all of my yoga training and everything I'd learned about injury prevention and dancer wellness, I was able to like get into some more serious dance training with pole and even able to do some performances. But these were like very chill, like small, just local studio, like student showcases, nothing paid, like low stakes, good fun times. The craziest thing I did was do a PSO competition in LA back in like 2021. That was like the craziest thing I had done, right? That was like the biggest thing that had happened to me since starting pole in like 2020. So yeah, like no expectations. I'm just having fun. I'm just like vibing and loving learning the craft, and also had invested in like a small group intensive program at Dance Club Asheville to train with the studio owner there. So like, I'm just having a good time. I'm not even like thinking like, how am I turning this into my career, right? Like my career is teaching yoga for dancers, keeping it chill and low key and having a good time. The following year in 2022, I heard of this small local dance troupe called 13th Hour that I had like kind of heard of here and there. They're pretty small, pretty low key. Like they just did some gigs at like bars or at certain like concerts, people would hire them. And I was like, okay, that sounds like it could be fun, like do some local gigs, you know, like I don't have anything else to do, like to just go check it out. And I almost didn't go, you guys. I almost was like, is this worth the time? Like, doesn't sound like that crazy or anything. I only knew like one person in it, which was Katie, who was a teacher at Dance Club Asheville. So I was just kind of like, I'll just go and check it out. And I also knew Carissa. She was my like first pole teacher back in like end of 2019. So only knew a couple girls in it. I thought I would just go and check it out. Holy crap, am I so glad I did. Like, I literally can't believe that I almost like didn't go to that audition. And the audition was fun, the audition was great. We, you know, again, they were just like, this is just to do some like chill gigs around town. I was like, okay, like cool, sounds fun. And then I got in, and then at our first group meeting, Katie and Chris, who I didn't really know them at the time. This was really my first time like getting introduced to them. Katie and Chris are the producers of Enter the Garden. But Enter the Garden didn't exist then. I barely knew them, right? And we get there to our first meeting, and I'm thinking like, okay, we're probably just gonna like learn some like fun routines or kind of figure out like what the, you know, around town performing schedule is. It'll be like pretty low key. And Chris and Katie are like, oh, and Carissa are like, okay, so we've been keeping it a secret, but we actually held these auditions to do a show that we're thinking of doing later this fall called Enter the Garden. And that was the very first Enter the Garden back in November of 2022. So we got started with rehearsals for that back in like June of 2022. Crazy, because fast forward, I just did the most recent Enter the Garden, and this show has blown the fuck up. We had 2 full nights at a 500 seat theater with artists coming in from all over the country, like amazing, iconic, incredible dancers, incredible group pieces. Just like the show, if you've seen it, if you know, you know. And if you haven't seen it, you've seen videos. And you know, this is a crazy level production that I was blessed enough to be offered like the lead role in, which is the craziest. Like I mean, there were times when I never thought I would dance again, let alone like dance as a lead role in that caliber of a show. All because I decided to go to this audition for a small town thing that I really didn't think would like amount to anything other than like a few fun little chill gigs here and there. But because I joined Enter the Garden at the like ground floor and like worked my butt off and poured my heart, soul, and booty into everything for the show, did some solos, did group pieces, and the first shows were just at like an event space. They were like 200 people shows, which they were incredible. And then when they were finally ready to up level to Diana Wortham, they were like, we want you to be the main character or like the main protagonist to help tell this story in the show. Here's the thing with your dance career, what I have learned is that no opportunity is too small. Everything is a stepping stone, and everything is going to lead to either a connection or another opportunity or just opening your eyes to things that you didn't even know were like happening in the dance community. And you just have to get started. Like if you feel like you're holding yourself back from like going for an opportunity because you're like, well, I don't really know like what this is going to lead to. This isn't like my dream opportunity yet. So maybe I just like won't, it's not worth the time. If I had had that mentality, I would have never gone to that audition. I would have never gotten into the Enter the Garden cast at such a ground level and like built that trust with Chris and Katie to be offered this role that has truly like taken my career like to places I never thought I would go. Along the way, I've also put on a couple of pole shows. I have a great video on my channel too if you want to check out how I put on my own shows too, and how I crafted performance opportunities for myself and other dancers in the local scene. Since starting Enter the Garden, I've also done Original Sin, which is a competition down in St. Pete. And here's what I mean by the connections and the things that you will learn just from the stepping stones of things that you're on really important. If I had never joined Enter the Garden, I don't think I would have gotten as close to Katie, and she was the one who told me about Original Sin, and because I was friends with her and knew she had gone and trusted her, I was like, you know what? I don't really even know what this is, but I'm gonna just like audition and apply and like see what happens.
I want to spend just one more night in the Roxy.
Ended up winning that competition, and it was an incredible experience, and I got to connect with so many amazing people in the Tampa St. Pete like pole scene that I never would have. Everything is a stepping stone, so my advice for you is if you are like just starting out, if you are like me and you're like, I don't even have like anything other than doing some small student showcases, you know, start seeking out even the small opportunities or creating them yourself. Again, I'm gonna plug my video for how to create a dance show if you want my whole layout of how to do that. You can start small and just put yourself out there, even if you're not really sure what it's gonna lead to, even if you get that nagging voice in your head of like, yeah, but like, what's the point? Or like, that's not, you know, your dream gig. The smaller gigs can lead to the dream gigs. Treating even the small opportunities with the same level of dedication, professionalism, and respect that you would to like your dream opportunity is how you manifest your dream opportunities. Start acting like the professional that you want to be now. Show up to rehearsals on time. Don't skip rehearsals. Be prepared, have your head in the game, take care of your body outside of rehearsals, be training. You don't want to just wait till you get an opportunity to then be like, okay, now I have something to train for. Train for the job, train for the opportunities that you want now. I didn't know when I was just doing like my yoga practice every single day and training and stretching and conditioning what I was training for. I just knew I was training and knew that I wanted to be dedicated and be in the best shape to do anything, to be ready. I didn't know that I was training to do the lead role in Enter the Garden, and that role is crazy, you guys. It is like a 3-hour show, and out of the 17 pieces or something that are in the show, there was only one that I didn't have something to do in. One. That show is demanding as fuck, physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, it has taken everything I have, but I have been training for it not just in the last year of having this role, but I have been preparing for this role for like the last 6 years, just through living and breathing and doing things that would put me in a place where I can handle that level of like excellence, right? So we want to be training and doing things that are going to give us success before we have the reason to do them. And that is, I truly believe, what manifested those opportunities, and treated even the small gigs with the same level of respect and professionalism that I would for Enter the Garden. So I felt really ready because I was like, I'm already mentally there. I'm already like physically, mentally like in that headspace of put in my whole booty into this and making it the best that I can possibly make it. And then on top of that is just being a good person to other people, because you never know who is who. Like, you truly don't know who is gonna be the person who creates something that they need a dancer for, and they think, oh, this person is really professional, they're great to work with, they're on top of their shit, like I'm gonna choose them. Don't just treat the people that like you think like are higher up, that are like the gatekeepers of like what you want to get into. Don't just treat them with respect. Treat everyone that you work with respect. Be a good person, be reliable, be trustworthy, show up to rehearsals on time. Just basic things like that of like being prepared, being respectful in rehearsals, like bringing your good energy. All of those things are things that I have always stood by, from like a little showcase all the way up to Enter the Garden. If you really want to have a career in the performing arts, get yourself out there. I have done the tiniest gigs, from literally performing on a stage pole in the middle of like a field at a random tiny music festival, to doing Enter the Garden, which is the most incredible show and most incredible pole show in the world, and had all of these opportunities open up to other avenues for performing and getting paid. And I myself feel super confident in doing even crazier gigs now, simply because I said yes to doing an audition for a small little dance troupe. Put yourself out there and say yes to things, even if you don't really know where they're leading. Say yes to trying things that you don't know about. Sign up for competitions, sign up for dance shows, put on your own dance show. Like, just get started. It can be scrappy, it can be small. Show up in even the small spaces with excellence, professionalism, amazing energy, and you never know where those are gonna lead. Next is to make sure that you are living, breathing, embodying the professional, magnetic, powerful, expansive, high-level energy that you want to experience in your life. You are preparing for the roles that you want in what you are doing today, in how you're training, how you're treating your body, what are you eating, your habits that you are doing today create the performances that you will do tomorrow. So that's the headspace you need to be in. That is what I've been operating in, that if tomorrow Beyonce called me up and was like, Roxy, pussy pop, headstand, twerk split, like give me your freaking all for my tour tomorrow, would I be ready? I don't know. I'm gonna go train and make sure that I am. Like, that is the headspace that I've been in. Like, if tomorrow I found out I was gonna be getting my dream opportunity, would I feel ready? Or would I feel like, shit, oh my God, I need to like start training? If you're in like the, oh shit, I need to start training mindset, then you should probably get on that and start acting as if you are literally performing for Beyonce like next month, right? Like, you would be training, you would be stretching, act like it's already on its way, and align your actions to match with that energy, and then it will be on its way. Literally anything can happen, you guys. Life is crazy and you never know who's who, you never know where things can lead. And just by showing up and putting yourself in spaces, like, get in there, get out there. Don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm not ready yet. Like, you will be ready by putting yourself in spaces where you're required to be ready. Ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. Start putting yourself out there, start auditioning, creating, finding even the small showcases, like whatever you can, just like get in there, yeah? And show up with impeccable energy. Also, keep training. Do not give up. Don't give up on your strength training, your flexibility training. Invest in your training, invest in mentorship, invest in teachers. All of that together is the secret sauce. Truly, if I can get here and I never thought I would dance again, let alone have incredible performance opportunities, like, anything is possible, okay? And if you want to know more about my Enter the Garden experience of like how I tangibly put all of that like training, living, eating, breathing, sleeping, like professional dance life into practice, I have a great video that I will link below. You got this. Just start. Start scrappy, start small, but walk in there like it is Beyonce, okay? Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon.